Okay, this is a video of just showing you a little bit of the MAME machine. I actually built this thing a couple of years ago. Actually, I think it was more like 3 or 4 years ago now. My dad and I got all the pieces that we needed, visited the local hardware store, got all the wood, basically just built it in a weekend in my garage. I've always been into, when I was a kid, I used to go to the arcade all the time and play, and just wanted to be able to do it at the house. I actually looked into getting a real deal arcade machine, like an old Mortal Kombat machine, and I just found out, they were really expensive. The cheapest I could find at the time was a couple $1,000s, and I just didn't really want to spend that. So as I was doing some research, I actually came across MAME, the multiple arcade machine emulator, which just runs on any regular PC, and it's actually able to emulate just about any arcade game that's ever been made. So installed that on a machine, put it inside the cabinet, and here we have it. So just going to give you a little bit of a run through here. Basically, you have the cabinet. I actually ordered this custom marquee here from a website. Can't remember which one it was. There's a couple of good ones out there. I got the template and instructions for the cabinet off the internet from a website called I believe it was arcadecab.com or arcadecabinet.com. And the guy had all the directions to build it, so followed him, and that's what we came up with. Actually, I did a little bit of custom stuff, did these speakers up top, custom made the bezel around the monitor, and then I even have a little menu here to show everybody how to operate the front end with the controls, the X-Arcade dual joystick. This thing actually worked out really well because wiring up your own controls can be a real pain in the butt, so it was nice to not have to do that. And then added some cup holders to the side, and then actually inside the cabinet here I actually have a docking station with my laptop connected to it. My laptop's actually pretty nice, and it runs all the games pretty well. And actually was able to come across an old CRT monitor. CRT monitors work much better for the old games because they ran such low resolutions. I actually got that monitor for free and put that in the machine, and there you have it. So I'm going to go into a little bit of gameplay here, or I'll show you the front end. The front end actually is called Maximus Arcade. It's a pretty cool program that allows you to, you can pretty much customize it to however you want. The computer runs Windows, and when you have people, coming over for parties and stuff, playing games, they're not going to want to have to exit in and out of Windows to be able to get into games and whatnot. So I installed this front end, and it makes it a heck of a lot easier for people to actually play games. So I'll go through. I actually customize a lot of this, so if you were to go download this, it's not going to look exactly like this. But my screensaver just came up there. As you can hear, I have a little bit of music in the background that plays when you're doing the selection screens. As of right now, I only have 4 emulators running on this machine. I have MAME for the arcade games. I have a Nintendo 64 emulator called Project 64. I have a Nintendo emulator, which I believe I'm using. What am I using for that? I can't remember. And then I also have a Sega Genesis emulator. And I plan on adding more in the future, but right now it's pretty much all I have. So basically, you just select whatever system you want and say I would want to do Nintendo. It brings up a nice little menu here with all of the games, and you can scroll through, and it actually even gives you screenshots, which is really cool. And then if I want to get back out, I just press one of the buttons, take me back out, and then all of a sudden I'm back. I can go into the Nintendo 64, and again you have all your games, and if there's no screenshot, it just gives you a default of the N64. But I do have screenshots for most of my games. And then the MAME, this is where I spend most of my time. I have quite a few arcade games in here. I probably have about 2,500 games in this. And the cool part is a lot of people don't want to scroll through 2,500 games, so you can actually create favorites lists, which is what we're looking at right now. If I want to view all the games, I have that option. I can go to all games, and it'll have a list of all 2,500 games, which is just ridiculous to scroll through. So that's why we have the favorites list. We go in there. And if you notice too, I also have the, I kind of customized my background. Got the champagne MAME in there with this cool looking background. So that's pretty much it. I'll show you what some gameplay is like. Do a little bit of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. You can see myself in the glare of the screen there. I think I might actually be able to see the game better if I turn the light off. There we go. And the cool thing is, I mean, you can map buttons. Each game will allow you to map the buttons for the specific game, and you can also map buttons generically for every game, because the majority of the arcade games have a similar layout. And then another cool thing is that the side of the arcade or of the joysticks actually has these little flipper buttons, and it works out good because I actually have that mapped to insert my coins. Because after all, these are direct ports of the arcade, so in order to play games you're going to have to add coin. And then this button on the other side is actually the button that you would hit to exit the games and go back out to the main menu and select another game. So we can get in here and play. And then yesterday I actually went through, put in the Ultimate Combat codes, and got the 3 hidden characters. And I mean, these are, real deal arcade copies, and it's, the real deal game, so, and it plays just like the game. I mean, as you can see, it looks good, it runs good, and it runs nice and fast. Now, some of the newer games, a lot of the 3D games like Tekken 3 and Virtua Fighter 4, that kind of stuff, true 3D polygons, that kind of stuff, you really have to have a really nice PC to run those, or a really nice graphics card. My machine is nice, but it does run those things a little slow. But I don't play a lot of those games anyway. I'm more into the stuff that I was into when I was a kid, which is the Mortal Kombats and all the really, really old stuff, Pac-Man, Galaga, Rampage, all that stuff. Yeah, it works out pretty good. So say I'm done playing this, I can hit my exit button. It'll exit the game, take me back out to my nice little front end here, and I can move along to a different game. Got The Simpsons, Time Killers, Tetris, Ninja Turtles arcade game, everybody remembers that one. All the Street Fighters. And you can actually scroll through, you can scroll one game at a time, or if you hit left or right on the joystick, it'll actually scroll through an entire page at a time, so you don't have to do a bunch of clicking. And then this is a full computer, so if I would want to exit the games and actually use the computer, I can go down. I actually have a slide-out keyboard tray here, and if I hit the end, I have the end button right now, which is set to exit the front end. So if I would hit end, I'll exit that, and it comes back out the windows. So it's a pretty nice little setup I have. So I'll just do one more quick run through the machine with the camera, and I'll be signing off. Another note with this thing is I have wheels on the bottom, so I'm able to roll it around in the room, which makes it a lot nicer. And there's a lot of different things you can do with these. I opted not to put, there's guys that go as far as putting coin mechanisms in the front of their doors and hooking it up to the computer, so you actually have to put coins in to play games. And you could add a light behind the marquee to light it up, because a lot of games had that. I chose to make mine a little bit more basic, because it's the first one I built. If I ever do another one, which I probably will at some point, I'll probably go a little bit more in depth with it. Definitely want to do 4-player joysticks and make it a little bit nicer. So that's pretty much it, and I'll see you later.